If you've been thinking of making a move to Hilmar, California, then you're going to want to listen up because today we're going over some of the top pros and the top cons of living there. If this is your first time to the channel, then make sure you hit subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first one updated about the Central Valley real estate market. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a realtor based out of Charlotte, California, and I get calls from people just like you every single day looking to make a move here. So whether you're moving right now or even in a year from now, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to go over all of your different options. Okay, so Hilmar, California, if you're watching this video and you are not directly from the surrounding areas, you've probably never heard of it because it's very small, population of around 6,300, mostly an agriculturally based community. So you'll find a lot of farmland, a lot of dairies out there. But to give you a better idea of its location, it is located in Merced County and it is kind of closest town, I'd say. You're on the outskirts of Turlock. If you keep driving, you get to Stevenson, Los Banos, but it's definitely a little bit further out there. But a lot of people love to call it home. So we're going to get straight into the pros and the cons. I will say there's not a ton of pros. There's not a ton of cons. Smaller community. So it's going to be a shorter one today. Now, the first pro is, according to a lot of sources, it actually ranks fairly high for being good for families. Now, what does that mean? It highlights a lot of family-friendly community atmospheres. It's a small town feel, so a lot of families know each other. The schools are smaller, so the teachers and staff all seem to know students, even plus the students' parents that they probably taught years and years ago. Pretty good, high-rated school districts as well, too. So it's just kind of nice if you're looking for an area that's like a smaller feel, small town setting, meaning that like all the kids kind of grow up in a quieter community. So that's overall, according to some different sites. Go look on niche.com, bestplaces.net, and there's a lot of similar consensus when it comes to Hilmar. Now, the second pro living in Hilmar, and I think this is honestly one of the biggest pros, is the presence of having Hilmar Cheese Company there. Now, this is a major local employer, and honestly, Hilmar has Hilmar Cheese Company to thank for even putting it on the map. Because if it weren't for that, there's no other major employers or local landmarks that people would know or recognize Hilmar by. This company is one of the largest cheese manufacturers in the entire world, actually, and it was founded in 1984, so it's very well established. It provides jobs to hundreds and hundreds of locals with many different levels and things to do. They've even been expanding on it over the years too, so it's just growing, adding more jobs into the economy. And besides that, it also has a sense of welcoming for the locals or people visiting as well too, because there is a visitor center, there is a gift shop, a cafe. Definitely go recommend taste testing a bunch of the cheeses there. And they even have a small room, or not small, it's actually pretty good size, a venue. I think it's on the second floor of the visitor center where you can rent out for parties as well too. So having this here, this Hilmar Cheese Company in Hilmar, is a huge, huge benefit for all the locals here. Now, a third pro to living in Hilmar is this very close-knit community. There's a lot of people with very similar and shared backgrounds, whether that's culturally, within religion. We see a really huge demographic of Portuguese people here. And I'll tell you why I know so much about it is because I actually am Portuguese, have had family members that have lived there before too. So we get a lot of cultural events throughout the year, such as festas. We get different parades, things to do with the Catholic Church. And you do not have to be Portuguese to attend these events. It's really a local city or town-wide events that you can go to. And we get people from other towns and cities nearby too that come to these things because it's honestly just a lot of fun. Lots of things to do there. And it's just something different for a small town like Hilmar. So very close-knit community. I would say if you were to interview a lot of people that live there, it's kind of one of those towns where everyone knows everyone. If you go to school with one family, everyone's going to know each other. So if you're into that smaller community feel, this could be a really good option for you to live there. Now, the last pro is Hilmar High School actually has some really high-ranking public schools. So they have their elementary, middle, and high school that are all literally right next to each other. So first off, I have to say that's really convenient. If you do have children that are different ages and going to different schools, you don't have to be driving all the way around town. It's just, drop off one and then you head over right next door to the next school. So That's just kind of a side note, but a lot of people find that convenient. But starting with the elementary school called Elam Elementary, it's actually ranked the 9th best public elementary school in all of Merced County. So that's a pretty good ranking. It has about 915 students, and this school goes kindergarten through 5th grade, and it has a student-to-teacher ratio of 23:1 with an overall rating of a B on niche.com. So pretty solid. And then right next door, we have Hilmar Middle School, which didn't rank in terms of Merced County wide, but it still has an overall B- rating on niche.com, which is a pretty high rating. This school has about 550 students, and this goes 6th to 8th grade with a student-teacher ratio of about 21:1. And then last but not least, we have Hilmar High School, which again, literally right next to the middle school. It's actually ranked the 3rd best public high school in all of Merced County. So, if you have kids that are in this school district, first or kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, you know that they're going to be in good hands because they rank really high. Now, Hilmar High School has almost about 700 students, 9th through 12th grade, student-teacher ratio of about 19:1, and it's given an overall rating of B+ on niche.com. Now, these schools, like I said, do your homework on and make sure whenever you're moving somewhere, I always recommend checking out niche.com, bestplaces.net, or I think it's greatschools.org just to see ratings, and you can see real-time reviews from parents, teachers, and students. But overall, Hilmar has a really good public school system. Okay, now let's talk about some of the cons. The first one is going to be very specific, and if you've ever visited Hilmar, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's the smell, okay? So there's a lot of dairies in the area, and a lot of orchards as well too, which they do fertilize. So there's going to be definitely an agricultural smell, to put it lightly. Now, I will say though, for me personally, I grew up around farmland my entire life. I've been around dairies and orchards. That smell actually really does not bother me that much. The problem to me is the Hilmar Cheese Company. While it's super beneficial having it there for employment and jobs, it smells. I don't know how else to put this. The factory itself just stinks. Make sure when you are coming within a mile radius of there, you have your windows up when you are driving, because I don't even know what the smell is. It's like however that plant processes the milk and the cheese and everything. I don't know how to describe that smell unless you're from there and you've been there. So that's a very specific one, but be aware. Now, this smell is not throughout all of Hilmar. So if you are looking at homes and you do not want to be smelling that, just let me know, of course, and we can find you homes that are within different locations of Hilmar, so you're not waking up to that every day. Now, the next con to living in Hilmar is there is very limited entertainment options. There's overall just not much to do in Hilmar. There's only a few restaurants in all of Hilmar. There's not really shopping besides, going to the grocery store. So if you want to go shopping, go to different restaurants and dining outside of Hilmar, you're going to have to go to probably Turlock is the easiest and closest city nearby. Now you have Los Banos, that's like another 25 minutes, but I honestly really don't like the drive going out to Los Banos. It's like the one lane the whole way out there, and there's still not a lot in Los Banos as well too. It's starting to grow, but Turlock is really your best bet, and you can get to Turlock within, depending what part of Hilmar you're at, 10, 15 minutes, again, depending on where you're going to Turlock too as well too. So just keep in mind, it's a very, very quiet town, which could be a pro to you, but if you're constantly needing to go to the stores or going out, just looking for something fun to do, Hilmar is not going to be your town. But if you do enjoy calm evenings, good option for you. So pros or cons, kind of more depending on what your personality is. Now, the last con is there is not really any public transportation. So if you do not have a car or someone to help you get around, there's not really a lot of options for you to get around Hilmar or to surrounding areas. So yes, there is a bus service. It's more of like a regional inner city bus service. So that'll take you throughout like Merced County. I don't know the exact routes, but you can look it up online. But within Hilmar itself, there's not just like a bus taking, unless it adds something. I've never seen a bus in Hilmar, I don't think, but there's just not like buses throughout town. So make sure you're within at least close walking distance to wherever it is that you need to be going if you don't leave that much, or you do at least have a car or someone that can take you around. So especially if you are a commuter as well too, and you're going over to Turlock or Los Banos, like I mentioned, you're going to need a car. So just keep that in mind. It's not like a bigger city. If you do need transportation like that, you might be better off in a town like Turlock or Modesto that does have more bus routes. So that's all we have for today. I would love to know your thoughts on your pros and cons of Hilmar if you have ever lived there or know people that live there as well too. If you're thinking of moving to Hilmar or any of the surrounding communities, feel free to reach out to me. You can text me, give me a call, or send me an email, and I'd be happy to sit down with you and go over exactly what it is that you're looking for. So next time, I'll show you around the valley.